UK theme park news is hot right now. So hot that Wickerman has seized the flames, packed his bags and left the chat. Because there is a new coaster in town and it's Nemesis.
You what?
So just over a year ago I said this.
19th of March 2022 marks the 28th birthday for one of, if not the most beloved roller coaster in all of Great Britain, Nemesis. And that scares the absolute crap out of me.
And here we are, 2022, and I can say this is about to happen, guys. Say goodbye to Nemesis, but say hello to Nemesis. Earlier in the week, Alton Towers dropped these plans to the Staffordshire Moors District Council. What a mouthful. To basically entertain the idea of retracking Nemesis to prolong its lifespan. So, looking at the plans, we can see there is a lot of bright green track. What is this, Asda price? No, this is indeed the parts of the track which are going to be completely replaced, which is pretty much 90% of the entire coaster. So everything apart from the brake run, the station and the lift hill will be completely replaced. This includes supports will be replaced. There will be some new concrete footers and concrete foundations, which I believe is probably the same thing as a footer. Don't ask me. As for the rest of the coaster, nothing is going to be changing that drastically. The queue line's going to remain the same. The theming is going to remain the same. Probably going to get touched up, obviously. Even the fences are going to remain the same. Sadly, it says the station is to be retained, which if anything, that's the main thing I feel like needs some kind of updating these days. Especially when you got the likes of Wickerman now with the atmospheric fiery walls and all that kind of stuff. Nemesis could do with definitely a good makeover in the station or something like that. There is also a date stating 1st of December 2022, which indicates to me this is probably when they're going to try and start construction, or reconstruction more like. And hopefully this will be in time for 2024, which is Nemesis's 30th birthday. Getting old, girl. So there's a good chance Nemesis is going to be closed throughout 2023 to make way for, 2024, hopefully. I don't know. It could take 2 days, could take 2 months, could take 2 years. In this document you can see in greater detail what exactly is going to be maintained and replaced. There will be 89 of the 117 columns and the associated track in these areas, whatever that technically means. Removal of 636 bolts, and these bolts are like the size of your face. An additional benefit is that the coaster track will be sand filled. Additional benefit, which will improve the running of the roller coaster as it will reduce noise levels to the benefit of the site and surroundings. So a benefit is to lose that iconic roar Nemesis is famous for. To be honest, I don't think it's going to be that much of a drastic difference. I think most of the roar actually comes from the surrounding terrain, because everything's built into valleys, everything just sounds a bit more echoed and elevated than usual. It'll probably sound like a bit of a warmer rumble instead of that, that kind of harsh, monstrous roar that Nemesis has. And this document just says what elements are unaffected by the proposals. Again, it's just reiterating what I said. The station's going to be the same. The queue line's going to be the same. Pretty much everything's going to be the same. No trees will be removed as a result of the proposed works. Yep, it's basically going to be the same. So, what are my thoughts on Nemesis 2.0? Echoing back to my earlier video, The Future of Alton Towers, would I want a new coaster instead of this retrack? No. Are you kidding? Yeah, I'd love, a brand new RMC, but Nemesis is the pure reason why I'm doing this video right now. Obviously because it's about Nemesis, but Nemesis got me into YouTube. Nemesis got me into the theme park community. Nemesis got me into roller coasters. So yeah, I've got a lot to owe Nemesis, and I'd be absolutely devastated to see it go. What about the changes to the ride experience? If Universal's Hulk is anything to go by, I don't think this is going to change that much. Hulk still feels like a beast. It's intense. It definitely feels like a classic B&M. And it also still feels rough. So if anyone's worrying that Nemesis won't feel like Nemesis ever again, don't worry. It'll still be the same old Nemesis, probably a bit smoother around the edges. I don't think the speed of it will be particularly affected. Hopefully it keeps that, you know, Nemesis momentum. So they are filling the track with sand now, hey, which will definitely soften that iconic roar. There is no doubt about that. But I don't think it's gonna be a drastic difference. Like I said, it's all about the surrounding terrain. I mean, for example, this is what Nemesis sounds like now. And this is what Black Mamba sounds like, which is, again, another invert, but with sand-filled track and quite a dense terrain layout, I'd say. Similar to that of Nemesis, this is what Black Mamba sounds like. So yeah, it doesn't sound quite as monstrous, but at the end of the day, it's just a bit of sound. What about trains? Personally, I'd like to see an updated version of the classic B&M inverted trains. Same old restraints, you know, all that jazz. And it still seems like B&M are doing these classic trains. Look at Monster at Groneland. They opted for the classic trains on that and still managed to build it. And that come out like, what, last year or something? 2020? I'm not too sure. If there was anything I could change to Nemesis personally, it would be to make the station more immersive. Like I said earlier, look at Wicker Man. It's got this really cool themed station with atmosphere, and it's just really awesome. I'd like to see Alton Towers do something like that to Nemesis to really bring some life into that area of the ride. But by the sounds of it, they're just touching it up. In terms of the layout, what would I change on the layout? Not a fat lot, because it's pretty much flawless. I think the only particular dead spot I'd say is that overbank after the vertical loop. I'd probably change that for like a Junior Immelman, similar to that on Black Mamba. But again, it's impossible to change anything on Nemesis anyway, so I think keeping the way it is just fine with me. Twitter topic of the video is, what are your thoughts on Nemesis being retracked? Simon Bennett, fantastic news, protects the long-term future, is still one of the best inverted coasters in the world. Glad to see this investment and not replacing it. Indeed, one of the best inverted coasters in the world. And it's crazy to think that it's nearly 30 years old and it's still arguably one of the best. Harry, hope they bring back Nemesis Subterra while Nemi is closed. Please. Or at least use something with that area. I just feel like it's left dormant for so long, apart from Scarefest with Project 42 or whatever it was. Coaster Gen, big shout out. It keeps the beast alive and I'm all for it. The most intense coaster experience in the UK until Project Exodus. Many thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. What do you think about Nemesis being retracked? Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to know. Now, I did say that I was going to give a shout out at the end of every ScrewyLoops show episode. I lied. I want to do it on every single video I make, only because the support you guys give me is amazing, and just restricting it to show episodes seems a bit stupid, so I'm going to give a shout out on every video as a thank you for all the support you've gave me. So, the second official ScrewyLoops Hall of Legends legend is Peter MC. Just want to say a massive thanks to you. You always comment on pretty much every single video without fail. You always got really nice things to say, and I appreciate all the support you give to us. So thank you so much for that. If you enjoyed this video, then please hit that like button, smash subscribe for more content like this, and give the bell a flick to keep all up to date. Videos on the left, merchandise on the right. Make sure to hit this button for the ride of your life. You've been watching ScrewyLoops. Try a bit.